if you've been following my channel, you know how much I love KEH Camera. I like the way they sell things. I like the way they ship things. And I like how straightforward they are with their prices. So recently I was looking for an old camera, the Nikon F, and found that there was a new category in here called as is. And so if you look at that thing again, there's bargain, ugly, and as is. And as is I've never seen before. So then the as is, I saw these type of bodies. I saw a Nikon F for $27, which is really, really cheap. And if you look at this right here, as is means usable for parts only. Equipment may or may not work. No warranty or return privileges. So I ended up buying a couple of cameras, and the 3 cameras I bought were the Polaroid XX70, which is probably one of the most famous Polaroid cameras. And I think when I went to Japan, it was easily the most sought after one. I think I saw a new one for like $300. So pretty crazy that you can get a Polaroid camera for that much. Another camera I got was Olympus XA, which is very popular for its time, and it's also one of the cameras I never picked up. So I have the XA2 and the XA, I think the XA1, and so the XA was something I wanted just to review for, so I picked those up. And the last camera I got was a Nikon FG. So for me, I can buy as-is caravans because I don't need the cameras to work. I'm kind of buying it not even for parts. I'm just buying it to show the camera body, to show people what does it look like, how do you load film, how do you basically use it, and then maybe talking about other people's images with them. The next thing I did was to send an email to KEH and ask them about this new section and what it meant. And I had 3 big questions. The first one was, where did KEH get these cameras and where are they coming from? So these cameras have been around, actually not on KEH's website, but on their eBay website, and they've brought in them into the main website. So it really expands the number of cameras they have on the main website. And the second part of that question was, so where do the cameras come from? And what KEH told me was that KEH is not trying to buy broken cameras. And I think if you took a broken camera to them, they're not interested in it. They're not going to try to buy it. But sometimes they buy really big lots of cameras. And in these really big lots, you're going to get some broken ones. And you're not going to be able to check for them all. So if you're buying, 1,000 cameras, there are probably going to be some broken ones. Also, they have such a big inventory of cameras that some cameras will eventually just break on them being in that inventory. So without use, without things like that, they're just going to go bad. They're like anything else. Second part of that question is, can you call and ask questions about these cameras? And that was kind of difficult. And I think I understand both sides. As someone buying a camera for like $53, you're probably going to want to ask a question. And the vibe I got was that if it's really expensive, it's like $100 thing or, an $80 thing. I think it's fair game to ask some questions. But if you're looking at a $10 camera, I don't think it's really appropriate to call them and ask them to pull up the camera or to ask you more details. It's kind of a risk, and they may be able to give you some notes on it, but probably they can't. But I can see from their standpoint, if it's a $100 camera or a $100 lens that's as is, that's a little bit more manageable and reasonable. But for $10 stuff, I would say less than $15, I would just take it as a risk. At 50-50, it's going to be what you want or not going to be what you want. And the third thing I got, and it wasn't really a question, was that these are risks. So these are as is. There's no warranty on them. There's no return on them. So you're really picking up as a risk. And you should know that if KEH could repair it and make a profit off of it, I think they would. And that's not what they told me directly, but it makes sense that if they could repair it on their own and they can do that, why not? Why wouldn't they do that? So these cameras, I think, are losses, and you shouldn't expect to buy these cameras and put $10 or $20 in to get them to work. Working with fixed cameras, I have a distinct advantage over most people when I come to buying broken cameras and used cameras, and then I can call them up and ask them, what do you think about this camera? And plus, I've seen so many repairs on cameras, I can understand how difficult something is and what someone can do in their house, and then what you have to send out to get repaired. And anytime you're sending something out, I would expect to pay at least $50 to get it repaired. Not too many repairs are going to be under $50. So if you're buying a $5 camera, you can put $50 in to fix it. It's coming out to $55. You're better off, I believe, just buying a bargain camera from KEH or buying a used working one from somewhere else. Not a really great idea to buy as-is cameras with the intention to get them to work. So I hope that helps. I'm really excited about this new opportunity from KEH. It's going to allow people like me who, buy broken cameras and just like to look at these old cameras, a cheap opportunity to get these cameras, and maybe the best opportunity I've seen on the web and from someone I really trust. So that's going to be really great. But to sum up what we talked about before, always be aware that this is kind of in a more advanced buying category. You should know about what you're buying exactly, and you should know about the pitfalls of buying as-is cameras and can you repair it? Do you have that skill, or do you know someone who has that skill? Because if not, not a great idea to buy these cameras with the intention of getting them to work. So I hope you guys enjoyed this really quick video. Remember to like this video and subscribe to my channel to see more. Thanks.